This was a great weekend of college football. There's a lot to get into. Let's go ahead and dive in, starting with Texas beating Michigan. And this was easy for Texas. A lot of credit to Quinn Ewers, Sark, that offensive line, that run game. They had a plan. Quinn Ewers and Sark executed that almost to perfection. And they ran away with that game basically by halftime. It wasn't really that close. For Michigan, the defense is talented. They have a new DC, but you can see the talent on the field. But they could not get off the field on third down, especially in that first half, and that killed them. And at halftime, I think a lot of people felt like, okay, this game is over. Offensively, for Michigan, they're screwed. I mean, I don't know what they do moving forward for the rest of this year. Clearly, the offense is not good enough. They can't run the ball. They can't pass the ball. They have a walk-on quarterback starting for them. Alex Orji can't throw. They don't trust him to throw. They're not able to run the ball and be dominant. So they have things they have to work out. This is a really good win for Texas and Quinn Ewers' Heisman campaign. Moving on to Northern Illinois, who beat Notre Dame. The upset of the weekend, the upset of the year possibly. Big win for Northern Illinois, biggest win in school history most likely. They were also paid $1.4 million to play Notre Dame, and they roll into South Bend and beat them. If you're a Notre Dame fan, which I am not, you can't trust Marcus Freeman. I mean, I'm not even a Notre Dame fan, and I don't trust Marcus Freeman. And the problem is, we've seen these types of losses before. This is not just a one-off. That's the most concerning thing about this loss. You've seen it before. What's good? How should we not expect this to happen again? A lot of people thought if they beat Texas A&M last week, which they did, they have a schedule that's set up for them to go undefeated. Now, going undefeated is hard in college football, but the point is, they don't have a gauntlet of a schedule. They don't. So I don't know if they're going to lose any other games. I mean, if you lose to NIU, I don't know what to expect. Riley Leonard didn't look good. Now, they can still make the playoff, but it's going to be tough because they're going to have to build a resume. They don't have a lot of great future wins on that schedule. Obviously, they're not in a conference, so they can't boost themselves up with a conference championship win. Things are not looking good for Notre Dame, and I'm not really sure how you come back from this. I guess one thing you can do is make the playoff and try to win some games. Oregon survived Boise State back-to-back weeks where the Ducks just don't quite look sharp and don't look good. Dylan Gabriel's putting up good numbers, but when you're looking at the outcome of these games, it kind of makes you pump the brakes a little bit on Oregon. I'm not really sure what's wrong, but it kind of feels like maybe Oregon is a team, at least through 2 weeks, where they'll play to the level of their competition. So when they play Ohio State in October, maybe they'll play up to that, but maybe they're also playing down a couple levels as well. Now, to give credit to Boise State, that's a really good team with a really good running back. A lot of people think Boise State might be the best Group of 5 team in the country, so that's a real team. Oregon was explosive. They had a kick return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown, so they looked good. Dylan Gabriel had some big plays as well. He also missed some plays. But some things just aren't quite right yet for Oregon, but we're only 2 weeks in. At least they've won. It's not like they lost like Notre Dame did. Colorado at Nebraska. So Nebraska could be undefeated going into Columbus. That's at least some hype that's being sent to Nebraska's way. That could be a 7-0 Nebraska team playing an undefeated Ohio State team, which would be a huge game. Dylan Raiola, true freshman quarterback, is looking pretty good. Colorado, we knew they were kind of a fake team. Yes, they have a first-round talent in Travis Hunter. People are saying Shedeur Sanders is a first-round talent. I'm not sure about that. There are also things that Shedeur does that rubs me the wrong way. As a leader on the team, as a starting quarterback for the team, I don't know. There are some things that rub me the wrong way, and people had a lot of things to say when he left the game early, although I don't know. According to reports, he was hit in the head, so he left the game early to get it checked out. People didn't love it. They left the field early, but whatever. Colorado, they're nowhere close to being a contender. They do some things that rub me the wrong way. Nebraska could be 7-0 playing Ohio State. If you're a Cornhusker, things are looking pretty good for you right now. Penn State survived Bowling Green. You got to watch out for these MAC schools, dude. I mean, they will jump up and bite you. And honestly, what a rough weekend for some of the Northern powers in college football. Penn State survived Bowling Green. Notre Dame lost. Oregon was tested. Michigan lost. Penn State is a really good team. They got things to work out, but their defense that a lot of people were saying was really stingy and really good clearly has some holes. Syracuse and Georgia Tech, I want to end on this quick note. I was saying this in the offseason. Kyle McCord in Syracuse are going to have Heisman and college football playoff hype at some point this year, and that's kind of already starting just a very, very little bit. The Syracuse schedule is very weak. If you look at their schedule, they're playing like Holy Cross, Cal, Stanford, Virginia Tech, Boston College, whatever. They also play NC State, who is okay, and then they end the year with Miami. That's like their actual only true test that they have in the schedule. So their schedule is set up for success. I mean, the ACC is weak anyways, but they don't play Florida State or Clemson. And even if they did have to play them, I don't think they'd really be that scared of them, to be honest. But the point is, Kyle McCord is good against this type of competition. It's the Michigans and Notre Dames and Penn States. Well, maybe not Notre Dame, but it's those opponents with Ohio State last year. That's where he struggled. You're not playing them this year if you're Kyle McCord of Syracuse. So he's going to continue to put up huge numbers. Syracuse is going to win a lot of games. So just be ready for the Heisman talk and the CFP talk with Kyle McCord and Syracuse as they continue to play and win some of these games.